Hello, dear viewers and listeners. I'm Monica Kuzminskaite, health and nutrition psychologist, and this is my podcast that I call Spoonful of Reason. As I read about vitamin D, Miyazaki's Calcifer keeps popping into my head. So now it's your turn to think about him. Vitamin D, cholecalciferol, has long been associated solely with bone health and rickets. However, vitamin D is actually a neuroactive steroid hormone. That's amazing. We have numerous vitamin D receptors in the brain, mostly concentrated in the frontal lobe, hippocampus, and hypothalamus, exactly where the mood is regulated, emotions are processed, and the stress response is generated. The brain is also rich in enzymes that convert vitamin D into its active usable form. Vitamin D directly activates genes that produce tryptophan hydroxylase 2 or TPH2, an enzyme that converts tryptophan into serotonin in the brain. Vitamin D also plays a role in the production of dopamine, a hormone that triggers feelings of reward, and GABA, the brain's primary calming substance. Vitamin D activates nerve growth factors, which are vital for neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections and create the right conditions for learning. Finally, vitamin D inhibits the overproduction of pro-inflammatory cytokines, thereby, thereby protecting the brain's sensitive neural tissues from inflammation. The brain and the intestines have their own independent pathways for processing vitamin D. Cholecalciferol is converted into calcidiol, then calcitriol, and finally into calcitriolic acid. Therefore, vitamin D in the bones is not a part of the same mechanism by which vitamin D affects the mood. Vitamin D is effectively produced in sun-exposed skin, and you certainly don't need to lie on the beach all the time. When ultraviolet rays with wavelength of 290 to 320 nanometers hit the skin, regular sunlight, a substance called 7-dehydrocholesterol begins to break down, producing the pre-vitamin D3. Under the influence of body heat, this is synthesized into cholecalciferol, vitamin D3, which binds to proteins and is then transported throughout the circulatory system and the body via the skin's capillaries. In some latitudes during winter, when the sun is low in the sky and the atmosphere scatters ultraviolet radiation, a good rule of thumb is this: if your shadow is longer than you are tall, your skin is likely not producing enough vitamin D. The necessary rays also do not pass through ordinary window glass. People with dark skin need to spend more time in the sun because their skin acts as a natural filter for the UV rays. Body lotion with an SPF of 30 reduces the amount of vitamin D produced by the skin by 95-98%. It is not easy to get vitamin D from food. Vitamin D3 can be obtained from animal products. Cod liver oil, 1 tablespoon, contains the entire recommended daily dose. Also fatty fish, such as sardines, mackerel, swordfish, or salmon, and eggs from the range chicken, for example, which actually means that they are also exposed to sun. Vitamin D2 can be obtained from mushrooms. They, like humans, produce vitamin D when exposed to ultraviolet rays. Mushrooms grown in the dark will not contain vitamin D, but growers illuminate some varieties with ultraviolet lamps, so vitamin D can be expected to be present in them. Some foods like milk or tofu are fortified with vitamin D, so they can also be a good source. It is important to remember that vitamin D is fat soluble, so it should be taken with some fat. Recent studies show that significant vitamin D deficiency, less than 50 nanomoles per liter or less than 20 nanograms per milliliter, greatly increases susceptibility to various mental health difficulties. The likelihood of experiencing episodes of depression more than doubles. Studies also show that vitamin D supplements should not be viewed as standalone panacea. Vitamin D works exceptionally well in conjunction with traditional methods for addressing mental health challenges, such as cognitive behavioral therapy or antidepressant medications. Combining traditional treatment with vitamin D reduces symptom severity. Certain groups derive significantly greater benefits from vitamin D. In women, vitamin D also plays a role in estrogen production, thereby helping to regulate hormonal fluctuations. In overweight individuals, vitamin D is often trapped in adipose tissue, making it inaccessible to the brain. Research findings indicate that supplemental vitamin D intake helps reduce symptoms of depression and neurological issues. Vitamin D also plays a significant role for people experiencing seasonal affective disorder in regions with significantly less sunlight in winter. If your blood tests show that you have low vitamin D levels and you're struggling with your mood, you might want to consider the following steps. First of all, don't guess. Ask for vitamin D test. The most important thing is to get out of the deficiency zone, less than 20 nanograms per milliliter, and aim for the healthy range, usually 30 to 50 nanograms. If you are choosing supplements, opt for cholecalciferol, vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is significantly more effective than vitamin D2 and stays in the body longer. Remember that vitamin D does not work on its own. The body needs magnesium to convert vitamin D into its active form. Vitamin D promotes calcium absorption, so taking vitamin K2 alongside it ensures that calcium is deposited in bones rather than the blood vessels. Be smart about sun exposure. Smart means 10 to 15 minutes at midday with arms and legs exposed, a few times per week, and under no circumstances should you wait for your skin to redden or burn. And it's enough to stay in the daylight. Sunlight is not necessary. Staying in the direct daylight, even if it is cloudy, promotes natural vitamin D production in the skin, and this form of vitamin D remains in the body longer than vitamin D obtained from supplements. Vitamin D is also not a magic cure. Regular physical activity, healthy sleep schedule, adherence to your doctor's prescribed treatment, and therapy are also necessary for good mental health. That's all for this week about vitamin D, calciferol, and cholecalciferol. I'm Monica Kuzminskaite, health and nutrition psychologist. I help to resolve simple and complicated issues around emotions, behaviors, and thinking. I write, I give lectures, and I provide psychological counseling. You will find the link to register for counseling session in the comment of each post, and you will find my post on social media, searching either for my name or for keyword Spoonful of Reason. Drop me a message if you have any comments or questions. And meanwhile, wishing peace to you all.